Hey everyone, welcome back to a new video. My name is Patel, and today in this video I'll be talking about the new Power Platform feature updates for July-August 2026. Make sure that you watch this video till the very end in order to see all the updates. And these are the three areas of the platform which got the real upgrades: building modern apps, Power Automate, and Power Pages. Let's start with building modern apps. And the first update here we have got is that the data grid reaches general availability now. So now you'll be having Fluent UI-based high-performance grid for Canvas apps, built-in search plus sortable columns and row selection, rich column types, text, number, hyperlink, button, and more, per column customization with PowerFX formulas, and built-in accessibility, keyboard, nav, and screen readers. Update path from the classic table control to migrate existing apps. Let's see this thing through the official Microsoft documentation. So I'm going to show you all this changes from here as well. This is the official Microsoft documentation. You can find the link to in the description box to know more about all these changes. So let's talk about the first change, which is about the general availability of the data grid modern control, which is a Fluent UI grid with searching, sorting, selection, and rich column types. And you can see how it looks here. So let's check more information about it. So the data grid modern control is now generally available for Canvas apps. It is built on Fluent UI. Data grid view gives makers a high performance data dense view of tabular data with a built-in search experience. And columns are generated automatically when you connect a data source, and each column can be unlocked for per column customization with PowerFX formulas. And the general availability rounds out the core interaction model. So now you have sortable columns, single and multi-row selection, column resizing, and a rich set of column types like text, number, phone, email, hyperlink, and button columns, plus formula-driven cell content for lookups, images, and complex fields. The control ships with built-in accessibility and fluent theming that stays consistent with the rest of your app, and it now works across a broader range of data sources than the preview. A wave of reliability and authoring fixes landed as part of the GA push, and data grid is the Fluent based successor to the classic table or data table experience, and a table to data grid update path that helps makers move existing apps forward rather than rebuilding. So it's not a forced replacement, but it's a distinct new control. If you want to know more about this change, you can simply click on learn more and you'll be able to find an entire documentation on this, where you will be able to see everything related to this new change, right? Now let's move forward with the next update here. So the next update we have got is about the modern controls, which have got more polished. And here we are talking about the toggle and checkbox and also the modern form. So if you see the toggle and checkbox, their naming has been improved. Now they will have consistent naming across modern controls. There's consistent naming now, especially for the color and size. Font weight now uses typed enum values for IntelliSense. There is new tooltip property on both controls. Display mode.view is now a true read-only state, and more output properties exposed for formulas. Checkbox is more reliable inside galleries. Let me show you this update from the official documentation. So if you see, the modern toggle and checkbox controls have been improved as part of modern controls. Both now follows the same cross-control naming conventions as the rest of the modern set. The font color is now color, font size is now size, and the font italic or underline or strike through renames, and font weight now uses typed enum values for IntelliSense and compile time validation. Also, toggle's label position is also now a typed enum. Okay, so both controls gain a new tooltip property, and display mode.view now renders a genuinely read-only state that shows the value without allowing interaction, which is consistent with the other updated modern controls. They also expose far more output properties than the previous versions, so you can reference their state in formulas across your app. Checkbox behavior inside galleries is improved. If you want to see more details about this, you can simply click on learn more and you can check more details about this new update on the modern toggle and checkbox. You'll be able to find more. Then the next update we have is around the modern form control, which gets modern data cards plus binding formula and reset fixes for more reliable form building. So the modern form experience received a round of functional improvements. improved data cards are now enabled. So forms built on modern controls render their fields through the updated data card infrastructure. Alongside that, they have fixed data card binding and formula behavior. So field values, defaults, and power effects inside cards evaluate correctly. This makes modern forms behave predictably for real data entry scenarios. They've also corrected the reset form and date picker reset behavior. Resetting a form now reliably clears and restores field values, including date fields, which is core to edit or new record form life cycles. And together, these changes make the modern form a dependable foundation for form-driven Canvas apps working end-to-end with the other updated modern controls. So if you want to see more, you can simply click on Learn More and check more details. Next, we have got is the fresh templates and a growing control library. So now let's check what are some of the updates on this side. If you see now, makers have new Fluent UI-based templates that provide a ready-to-use, professionally designed starting point for your Canvas apps, which is built on modern controls and Fluent patterns instead of a blank screen. New screen templates includes a hub landing page, feature landing page, and a list page. And the existing modern gallery templates were refreshed to use modern controls throughout. Because the templates are assembled from the modern control set, apps you start from them inherit consistent Fluent theming, built-in accessibility, and the ongoing quality investment in modern controls. So makers get a good-looking, maintainable app faster. Another change here is, or we can say update here is, new and improved modern controls. So we have a rating control, richer text styling for card, and an expanded 180 icon library. The modern controls catalog also grew and got richer. A brand new rating modern control lets users give star-based ratings with half-star precision, custom icons, not just stars, and full color customization defaulting to your app's brand color. It's a new control. Classic rating keeps working unchanged, right? So it's again not a forced replacement. You can still use the classic rating. The card control gained text customization properties, fill plus title color or subtitle color or description color, and title size or subtitle size or description size. The modern icon controls library was expanded from 56 to 180 icons, reaching parity with the classic icon set. Alright, so classic icon.star values are automatically mapped to their Fluent equivalents, so existing usage lights up with the broader set. Again, the next update is deprecating older Fluent UI, which is your hero controls and custom pages and Teams apps, and their upgrade path to the modern controls. So makers who built with the earlier Fluent UI, which is your hero controls and custom pages and Teams apps, now have a documented upgrade path to the modern controls. The guidance explains how the upgrade works, which properties carry over, and where behavior differs, so you can move to the actively invested modern control set with the confidence. Because some hero properties don't have a one-to-one equivalent on the modern controls, the guidance is explicit about what transfers and what to check after upgrading, reducing surprises and protecting maker trust during migration. Modern controls are the forward path for Canvas and custom page authoring, while classic controls remain supported for organizations with their own design systems, right? So again, this is an improvement. This is not a replacement. You can click on Learn More to check more details about it. All right. Now, next we are moving forward to the Power Automate. So in Power Automate, now there is more flexible licensing for flows and a new way to build automations straight from your AI coding agent. Let's talk about that. So we now have flow groups which share the license capacity. Let's check it through the official documentation. So now if you go to more and then to flow groups to create you can directly create a flow group from there, and they are now available in Power Automate. They let you share the capacity of one process license, or we can say 250,000 actions per day across up to 25 solution aware cloud flows, helping you make better use of capacity across flows with moderate predictable usage. You can visit it from more flow groups to create a group, add flows, and monitor shared capacity. A flow group uses one process license. When a flow needs more capacity, you can assign process licenses directly to that flow for dedicated capacity. You can check more details from here. Then next update we have here is about building flows from your AI coding agent. So the Power Automate plugin is now in the Power Platform Skills Marketplace. It works with GitHub Copilot CLI and Claude Code. You can create, edit, run, and debug cloud flows through your natural language conversation. You can ask it to build a flow from a description, update an existing one, or investigate a failed run. It also helps select a working environment and manage connections. You can review and test generated definitions before you enable or publish a flow. So this is also now you have the Power Platform plugin and you can use it for building your flows. Great. You can click here and check these details more in details. Okay. Now let's move forward to our next section, which is Power Pages. So AI now steps into the security workspace, helping makers configure and strengthen site security in plain language. Let me show you how. So if you see here, now you have secure site. You can secure your sites with the security agent. It's a new AI powered assistant which is built into the Power Pages security workspace. Let me show it to you from here. It's looking something like this, and security agent is in preview right now. So what it will do, it will help you to review, configure, and strengthen site security using natural language. Whether you are reviewing your site security posture, configuring authentication and authorization, managing application security settings, or troubleshooting sign-in issues, security agent provides site-specific guidance based on your current configuration. The agent explains findings in plain language, recommends remediation steps, and always requests your approval before making configuration changes, helping you secure your sites faster while staying in control. You can check more details from here to know more about this new security agent. And then finally we have some of the learning updates where you can check all these training paths and labs. Right, we have the updated ones also for the Power Apps Maker. You can check them all here, and for Power Automate as well, so you can check all these things from here, right? So these were the updates. I hope that you like this video and it was helpful for you. And if that's the case, then make sure that you like this video and share it with your friends, and also subscribe to the channel because that really motivates me to create more such content. Once again, thank you so much for watching it till the very end. Bye bye.